Hi, I'm Irving, and I have no life, just like you.
The Ballad of Irving. Irving. Big fat Irving. Big sport Irving. The 142nd fastest gun in the West.
This is the second add-on to the popular Half-Life game. In the main game, Gordon Freeman started some kind of reaction that basically destroyed the world and caused an alien invasion. In the first add-on, Opposing Force, you play as a soldier who was supposedly sent in to kill everybody in the Black Mesa facility, so word of the Operation Screw-Up wouldn't get out. But you wound up just trying to save your own butt instead. In this one, you're a security guard that we later learn is named Barney. No. No. No! Your last name is Calhoun. You're one of those guys in blue that you saw running around in the other games. Your job is to do what these arrogant scientists tell you, no matter how stupid it may sound. The game starts with a basic tutorial.
Welcome to the Black Mesa Hazard Course for Security Guard Training. I'll be your holographic guide to assist you in your training.
Hey, this is the same course as in the Half-Life game. But that one had a girl hologram. Whose idea was it to make this one a dorky-looking guy? Once you finish that, you're off to Black Mesa.
Welcome to the Black Mesa Transit System.
Not another lame train ride.
Is provided
So off we go. The voice is telling us something.
And visitors to the Black Mesa
What?
Research
I can't hear you over all this racket.
The time is 8:42 a.m. Current topside temperature is 91 degrees. Estimated
The current temperature is clang, clang, clunk. Thank you very much.
Mesa is maintained at 63 degrees at all times.
If your intended destination is a high-security area beyond Sector C, you will need to board a high-security train at the Central Transit Hub. If you have not yet submitted your identity to the regional clearance system, you must report to Black Mesa personnel for processing before you will be admitted
To the high security branch of the transit system.
Here's what I want to know. How long was that guy standing there waiting for that bridge to go? Welcome to brilliant scientist
You may
land.
do so before you reach the Central Transit Hub at the Area 9 security
checkpoint. Access to the medium security branch of the transit system is for employees of the Black Mesa Research Facility and authorized visitors only. It requires that you wear your security badge at all times. Looks like we're in for a long day today. Have a good one, Calhoun.
Whoa!
Elevator go down the hall.
As we go down, we get some basic information on ourselves. So, your personal safety is the lowest priority, huh?
You're gonna kill yourself.
If I have to.
Hey, that's a spirit.
And if we had more men like you, we'd have less men like you.
We finally get to the end of the line.
Hold on a minute. The door's not responding to your pass ID. Let me see if I can get it open on this side.
Stand back and I'll shoot it. Oh wait, he figured out the code. That's good because I just remembered I don't have a gun yet.
Sorry about that, Calhoun. We've been having problems all over the facility this morning. System crashes, security malfunctions. It's a wonder this whole place hasn't shut down yet.
That's certainly promising. So you wander around, get your helmet and vest, and get your gun. Then you can practice with it. Hey, cool! There's a couple of other guys here. I found some ammo in those empty areas. I wonder if I can shoot this guy and take his ammo.
I'll take so much and no more.
Okay, that was great. After that, you can go to the video surveillance room. Hey, that's where I got my gun. That's the sample that's going to cause all the trouble. Stop! Stop! Don't do it!
Good morning, Gordon.
And that's Freeman! Shoot him! Shoot him! He's going to destroy the world! Once you have everything, you're off to Section G to see what the problem is that they're having.
Well, it's about time. We don't pay you people to mosey around at your own convenience. Make this thing work so we can get on with this miserable day.
Wow, what an important task for a well-trained security guard. Mr. Brainiac is either too important or too dumb to push a button. And the future of our technology is in this guy's hands. That's comforting. During one playthrough, I found a really interesting glitch. Watch what happens if I start jumping while I'm in the elevator. Improper use of a firearm. Yeah, doing nothing is unacceptable because it kills people. And it didn't just kill him, it made him explode. If that's not improper use, I don't know what is. Well, of course, once you get past that glitch, the world goes to hell while you're in the elevator. When you can see, Brainiac is dead and the other guy's cowering. Now your major task for the entire game is to get out of here in one piece. But how?
Calhoun! How did you get through the power lock? Well, it doesn't matter. The only other way out of here is through the canal. If you do make it to the surface, don't tell anyone I'm down here. I think they're trying to kill us all. Now get out of here. The canal is where you want to be.
Okay, go to the canal. Where's that? I have to figure it out, I guess. But since this guy's probably dead meat anyway, I may as well take pity on him. I made him into a ghost. He can pass right through material objects. At least his head can. I'd like to be able to do that, only without the being dead part. Oh well. As you go on, you start encountering monsters. Mostly the head crabs and these things. I call them sonic doggies because, well, they sound and act like dogs, but they give off this weird sonic wave that does damage to you. When I mentioned this in my opposing force review, a viewer said sonic doggies would be a good name for a band. I have to agree. They're very strange critters and it takes a few shots to the face to take them down. It's all pretty basic for this series. Further along, we encounter our first big puzzle. You have to get the one crane just high enough that you can jump from it to the big boxes, and the other one just low enough that you can jump to it from the boxes and then jump onto the ladder. Oh yeah, I had to push around a dead doggy to jump onto the first crane. You follow some stuff, kill some aliens, and get to this crossroads. Sort of. If you go left first, you'll waste at least an hour. Why? Because the sequence is this. Go right, make your way to a control room and bring an elevator down. Then go back to the intersection and go the other way. That takes you to where the elevator came down. You have to push an explosive box into an area below it so it can blow up some chompers that are just past your line of sight. Then take another elevator down there and go through that area. So why did I say you'll waste your time? Because if you go left first, you'll get to where the elevator comes down and all that. But along the way, this happens. To get past that, going toward the elevator, you hop onto those pipes to your left. The problem comes when you realize that if you went that way first, thanks to that busted bridge, there's no way back. I tried a bunch of ways, including this. I let that barnacle pull me up to where I could jump onto the walkway after I shot it. From there, I hopped onto the pipe. But it's impossible to get from the pipe to the other walkway because your character can't jump that high. And there's no ladder, no rope, no nothing. So if you go that way first, be prepared to go back to a much earlier save and do it all again. My advice, don't. That's deep and profound, I know. If you have to eat a lot of fish to stimulate your brain cells so you can ponder that advice, do so now. I'll wait. Okay, that's long enough. Eventually, you find a ladder to the surface where you encounter this. And why, pray tell, are they even there? There's no way around them, no way to take them down from here. All you can do is try to do this. Meep, meep. I wish. There's a blind spot between them, and if you walk in a crouch just right, you can get up to them and work your way around. Your goal is to jump into that truck, because there's a bunch of grenades and stuff in there that you can use to take out those annoying turrets. By the time I got done with that, take a look at my health and armor. Thanks a bunch. Through this big door where you get your .357 pistol. Around the corner. Hey! Okay, thanks a lot, fellas. So you head down this pipe. Through these steam pipes, popping head crabs now and then, pretty basic stuff. The goal is still to get the hell out of Black Mesa because the place is turned into hostile alien central. Like the previous edition, Opposing Force, there's a marked lack of padding, which is very nice. Most everything you do has a purpose in the great scheme, and while some of the paths are convoluted, for the most part they're believable. The one we just did is a good example. The soldiers closed the door and there's no way to open it. And knowing what we the players do, you wouldn't want to go out there anyway because the soldiers are killing everyone even remotely connected to the project. So you have to find another way out, and this convenient steam pipe access just happens to be there. Good enough. It beats standing around looking dumb, which wouldn't make much of a game. Now you start running into these guys. You get to a railroad yard, and some guy that you find trapped in a boxcar tells you that you can probably get out of there if you can find Dr. Rosenberg. Well, sure. There's only 6 million people on planet Earth. Should be easy, right? So you fight your way to another train yard where you encounter these soldiers. Beyond that tunnel, you have to take out more soldiers and a tank. That brings you to yet another yard where you finally find the good doctor.
Yes, I'm Dr. Rosenberg, although I'm not very proud to admit it, seeing as though I'm partially responsible for all of this. How did you know my name? Oh, I see. Poor Harold. Yes, our plan was to get to one of the old prototype labs. It involved something that very few people in the facility are authorized to know about.
He's supposed to follow you to one of the old prototype labs where they were working on teleportation. That's what screwed the pooch in the first place, but according to him, now it's your way out of there. Alright, you put the lime in the coconut and it gives you a bellyache, so you put the lime in the coconut and that fixes it. Whatever. Getting Rosenberg to follow you is quite an experience.
Let's get going. Slow down, Calhoun. I can't keep up at this pace. I'll be right behind you. I'll wait here. Let's stick together. We're almost there.
I give you the programming consistency of the Half-Life series, folks. I'm right behind you. No, I'm not. Fooled you. Okay, I'll stay here. No, I won't. Ha! You can't figure out what I'm doing, but you keep playing. Congratulations, you're an idiot. In the facility, you run into one of Rosenberg's colleagues.
Dr. Rosenberg, thank God you made it. We've managed to piece together some of the larger equipment, but you'll need to oversee the rest of the construction.
Excellent, Walter.
Walter? No, this guy's a scientist. Now Rosenberg is running off without you so he can start up the machine. In the main room, we get some plot exposition. Finally.
Unfortunately, this older technology does not have the ability to target an Earth destination in its current state. You see, Mr. Calhoun, teleportation isn't as easy as going from point A to point B. We've discovered a strange border world that was somehow involved in the process, which kept us from accurately predicting where any given teleportation event would lead to back on Earth. Some of the more promising research on the matter led to a device that could be attached to the strange crystalline structures we found on this border world. Now, this device could then be used as a focal point and a relay to aid in the teleportation. Well, in theory, that is. We lost contact with the survey group shortly after the device was in place. We later discovered other methods of aiming the field, but all of the equipment in this lab uses the older technology. In order for any of us to get out of here alive, someone would have to go to the border world and activate the device. I'm afraid you're the only one who can do this, seeing as how everyone else will be needed to operate the equipment.
Oh.
We should be able to get you fairly close to where the survey team had set up, but I fear the likelihood of running into alien creatures is very high. Once you find the device, simply power it on and align the emitters until the signal reaches maximum strength. We'll reopen the teleporter for your return once we receive the signal, but you must hurry back, as we can only keep it open for a short amount of time.
Yeah, so you're gonna go to this border world and fiddle with some machinery of theirs, even though you have the vocabulary of a rock. Just bleep the Framostat and flirm the Doomafidget while avoiding getting eaten by aliens. Simple. So he fires up the machine while Walter does whatever it is that he does in the other room, and you're off. Great, we're on another planet. We have to set up the dingfod there so we can teleport from one place on Earth to another place on Earth.
Right.
This place is confusing. The worst part is having to go through a bunch of tunnels and there's no way to know which is the right one, so I expect to be lost most of the time. This is called fun, and this is what makes one of the most popular game series of all time. Okay, so I'm down. But there's another huge waterfall over there on the other side, and a boingy thing in the middle. Guess what you need to do? Correct. So that takes you through some more tunnels until you come out here. So you turn the power on and then do this. Uh-huh. And that did what besides bring a ton of aliens down on me? Rosenberg said they'd open another portal for me to come back once I did this. Where is it? Well, sure. Climb a pile of rocks into a hidden cave with a bunch of head crabs in it to get to your portal after you fiddle with the machinery back there. Makes perfect sense in the Half-Life world. Excuse me, can you tell me how to get to my chair?
Yeah, it's easy. Go down the hall, into the bedroom, climb out the window and shinny down the drain pipe, make your way back around the building, come up the stairs, pick the lock on the front door, come in, avoid the vicious attack dog, and your chair will be right there.
Okay. Speaking of the head crabs, the physics of these things is one of the most irritating aspects of the whole franchise. How often do we see this? Or this? I'm belaboring it, but this is terrible programming. There's no excuse for it. And I lost count of how many times and how many ways the game hung on me, mainly by doing that thing where I get into a spot and can't move. And people paid good money for this crap. P.T. Barnum, tip your hat. You were correct, sir. So you fight your way back to the portal and end up back in the lab. What? I can't hear you. Talk loud. What? Huh? He's been taking elocution lessons from the train speaker at the beginning. But you have to go downstairs and get a power cell, charge it up, and send it back to him or the whole thing is kaput. And since the local battery store is probably now owned and operated by hostile aliens, that's not an option. Should have gone with these guys.
Still going.
He takes you to an elevator, you fight a bunch of soldiers, and then suddenly... What just happened? My computer went bonkers there. I couldn't read what was on the screen, but it looked like it said something about Java. After all that, the video started getting twitchy, so I had to quit. One thing I absolutely love about these games is the ability to save as often and as many times as you want. So I saved at that point and exited the game. A reboot of the computer to clear everything, and off we go again. Once again, it's puzzle time. This room has all this blue liquid in it, and it's safe to assume you're supposed to get across it. Where's a handheld barnacle when you need one? There's barrels all over the place, but how to use them? Well, easy. Drain the place, line them up like stepping stones, fill the room up again, and they'll stay exactly in place. Isn't that how fluid dynamics work? In this universe, yes. Except when it doesn't. How do you know? You don't. Like the random enemies constantly appearing out of nowhere to mess with your head, it's another big screw you to the player. So you get across and turn on some power thing that's in that room, come back, and you get to where the power cell is.
I was hoping you'd show up. You have to get this power cell charged and back up to Dr. Rosenberg. I'd help, but I'm hurt pretty bad. You can probably push the power cell through the fence into the charging station behind me. Let me see if I can get out of the way.
Well, he's out of the way. So push the thingy into the charger. And then into the elevator. Now it's a matter of making your way back up to the room where Rosenberg is.
We've already begun preparing the device with the fresh power cell you sent up. This time, however, the process is going to be a bit more complex, so I'll need you to help me in the main room. Let's hurry. There's no time to waste.
Of course! God forbid we just stand there and watch the experts work their magic. They need Rent-A-Cop to make it all happen. So you stand up here and push this button when things are fully charged.
Okay, the system is fully charged. Throw the switch located at the window of the control room. There, the field is open. Go now, Walter.
No, I pushed the button. No, you pushed the button. I pushed the button. Now your turn, my turn. I pushed the button.
Naturally, you're the last one through. He can't do this without you, but he and his fellow science guys are more important. The stuff at the beginning said so. When it's your turn, though, the soldiers come along. I chose just to dash past them and jump into the portal. So you press the button down, the seizure goes round and round, and it comes out there.
Calhoun, you've arrived. When you didn't come through right away, we thought that Oh no, there's something wrong here. Simmons, come look at Calhoun. His body seems to be in some sort of resonance displacement.
No, it comes out there. No, it comes out there. What is this?
What the hell for? We got him. Let's kill him now. And if they find the body? Body? What body?
Okay, I'm back and I'm not green.
The malfunction occurred at the last moment and you might have been caught in an infinite harmonic reflux. If that's the case, then you're lucky to be standing here. Then again, we're all lucky. Thanks to you, however, we were actually able to pull off this
Rosenberg is
idea.
happy.
We made it, Mr. Calhoun. We made it.
And that's Blue Shift. It's a lot shorter than Opposing Force, doesn't have anything like the diversity of weapons, and really doesn't have a compelling story or anything like that. Still, I like it. Like Opposing Force, it has most of the good stuff from Half-Life without all the padding. Since it's an add-on, they were able to just do the stuff without having to worry about it being a certain length. Too bad that couldn't have been done with the first game. It might have actually been good. Then again, no. All three of these games have a couple of huge problems. As I said before, the random enemies popping up anywhere and everywhere is nothing but a big middle finger to the player. It's saying, we don't have to play fair with you, and you can't even call us on it because we've set up this universe so it's legitimate. I can't find the words to describe how chicken shit this is. The worst are those stupid little head crabs, because there might be one or there might be five, and if you don't like it, tough. Hitting them with the horrible hit detection these games have is damn near impossible, and there's no consistency to it at all. It takes 2 solid hits from the automatic pistol to kill them. They can climb walls and sit up in thin air, and about 2/3 of the time you can't even hit one with your shotgun. Speaking of which, hey developers, let me explain to you how a shotgun works. It doesn't fire a bullet like a regular gun. It has dozens of little pellets that spread out in a wide pattern upon leaving the gun barrel. It is not a precision weapon. The whole idea is to cover a big area. I'm guessing the people who made these games didn't know that, because the way the shotgun works sure doesn't reflect any knowledge of how they actually function. It makes the shotgun one of the most useless weapons in the whole series. The submachine gun is just as bad because it almost seems like it fires a weak spread like the shotgun is supposed to, so it takes half a clip to take out even the weakest enemies. And all of the weapons suffer from an aiming reticle that's so tiny it's impossible to see most of the time. I don't know who dreamed that part up, but I'd like to meet him. In a dark alley, with a nice big club. Or at least a pair of steel-toed boots with which to crush their manhoods. Even so, this add-on is a nice diversion. It has enough diversity and puzzle to hold my interest, but it's not impossibly long and drawn out like Half-Life. With some revamping of the weapon aiming system and hit detection, it could be re-released and a happy public would probably welcome it with open wallets. I don't see that happening though. If Valve was too lazy to revamp the original Half-Life game when they re-released it under the Steam umbrella in 2005, I doubt they're going to be willing to do anything really creative with its add-ons. Too bad. It could have been great.
I wonder. Oh well.
I'm Irving, and I have no life, just like you.
Well, finally, Irving got 3 slugs in the belly. It was right outside the Frontier Deli. He was sitting there twirling his gun around, and Butterfingers Irving gunned himself down. Irving. Big fat Irving. Big dum-dum Irving. Big dum-dum dead Irving. The 142nd fastest gun in the West.